Hey everyone, very, very warm welcome to this interview with Garey Morgan. Now, Garey has been working with me on a couple of my programs now for a few years. He has an Amazon business and mainly specializes in arbitrage, although now he's transitioning to private labels. And he's got some amazing results selling on Amazon. So today I wanted to interview him, get his insights to inspire you to go out there and actually make some sales and make this business work for you. And one of the things that Garey's really inspirational with is generating cash flow using arbitrage to actually bring in money quickly and build a business. So Garey, it's awesome to have you here, man. How's it going today?
Oh, it's going great. It's a pleasure to be here, Ollie. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So let's start off with before you started selling on Amazon, right? So everybody gets into Amazon for a certain reason, right? You have goals, you have aspirations, but we also have fears, all right? We have things that we're scared of and obstacles that we have to overcome in our own mind before we actually start selling and bite the bullet. So what were some obstacles or some fears that you encountered before you started selling on Amazon?
Okay. Let me see. Anxiety was one of them. I had this thing in the back of my mind, can I do this? Is it possible? I see people out there doing it. Is it just, something that is for everybody else, but not for me? So that was one of my fear. One of my other fears was, am I going to be able to reach my goal, which was basically to replace the income that I had in a 9 to 5 job. Was I going to be able to replace that income?
Hmm. I think a lot of people have that exact same situation, particularly with the everyone's doing this thing. I think there's kind of two camps. Some people are like, everyone's doing this, so it's too saturated. And the other thing is, everyone's doing this and they're kind of special. They can make it work, but I don't know if I can make it work. So I'm curious, you had these fears. Why did you do it anyway? Why did you dive in? Why didn't you just not bother?
Well, I had a burning desire to leave my job, to do something else. After 15 years of working with the same company, I wanted to change. I wanted to change. And I did not want to replace one corporate jungle for another.
Hmm.
Excuse me. So I had this burning desire and it guided me. It was almost automated, invisible. It guided me to eventually leaving my job,
Wow.
setting up an Amazon business. And this was just literally making one decision after another and just following them through and just moving forward.
Love it, man. Yeah, that's a common goal to quit the job, right? To me, the goal was to never have a job, which I'm successful with. But it's the same thing, right? You want a little bit of independence. So tell me about that. Why did you want to quit your job? Like, what was it that you were thinking you wanted to have instead of the job?
uh, I wanted freedom. That was one of my big things. I wanted freedom. I got to a point where I started to hate the 9 to 5, getting up every day, the rat race going in. So I wanted something else. I wanted a change and I wanted a better quality of life. I could see that the office environment, it was really not good for my health, especially my mental well-being. Uh, so, yeah, that's what kind of pushed me, drive me to making the choices that I made.
Love it, man. So let's fast forward a little then. Talk about your results. So, like, how much profit were you making just buying and selling stuff from shops and doing arbitrage on Amazon?
Oh, it was actually quite fun. I don't think people realize how fun when you start out doing arbitrage is. At first, it was mainly retail arbitrage, and then I started to combine online arbitrage with it. First year, I'd say 40, around the 40-ish mark.
Hmm.
Uh, that's 40,000 for you listeners out there. Yes, I did say 40,000. It can be done because I've done it.
And what's the monthly profit there, would you say? Just so people know what the take home is.
I was taking home, I'd say 2.5 in profit.
Wow.
2.2 at the lowest.
So is that something you could like live on? Was that livable or just about, or like how?
Oh no, it would replace my goal was to replace my salary. I had a vision to replace my salary using retail arbitrage selling on Amazon, and that's exactly what I did. That was my goal. That was my vision.
Amazing.
So it replaced my salary. I was able to pay all my bills, my mortgage, and everything else. But I had freedom. I became my own man, my own business, my own person.
So you were working your own hours. You decided like
exactly
when you wake up, when you could go to
exactly
taking a day off in the middle of the week type stuff, which is what I like to do sometimes.
Exactly.
But some people don't know what arbitrage is, man. So can you give like an example to somebody who's never done Amazon before? What like your average day might look like as you're making this money, bringing in 2.5K a month profit and building the business? Like what would you do? What is arbitrage? How does it work?
So my average day would be, I'll get up in the morning pretty early. I would make sure that all any attention on my seller account on Amazon that is needed, invoice to be uploaded and so forth, emails to be answered are completed. Mm-hmm. Then I would look at my stock and start to replenish my stock, as in what is running out, I need to replace or reorder. So I would start ordering online.
From
looking
where?
Everywhere. Boots, supermarkets, clothes store, B&M, Tesco, Ocado, Waitrose, should I go on? John Lewis.
Wow.
Yeah, I was selling this lovely buggy thing from John Lewis at one stage. Argos. But Argos, you have to be careful because I think Argos is getting a bit savvy now. So Argos Toys was one great earner for me, as well amounts other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I would, so that would be my morning until about lunchtime. And then after lunch, after I've had lunch or sometimes I go out and have lunch, I'd go around the shops and have a look at shops like Mankind, shops you haven't heard of, probably even you didn't even know they exist. And in my journey, I've come across a few of them, especially online. And it just happened. The more you dive into this thing, is the more these little gems will come to you, and you'll find these bargains. Yeah. And after a month, 2 months, it will become part of you. It will become automated. And then you look back and you think, why was I fearful? Why was I anxious? There was nothing to fear but fear itself, as they say.
Yeah.
But, that's how my day looked.
Wow.
And sorry, to finish it, I'd come back in the evening and then I would create a shipment, get that package nice. At first, I was getting Amazon to do that, but I wasn't happy with paying Amazon to do it. So I thought, I could do that myself. Plus, this way, I give it the personal touch, my touch, to my customers, which worked because it's now reflected in the positive and excellent reviews that I've got on Amazon.
Love it, man. So did you have any rules for the type of products you would buy? Like, let's say you were looking for some stock to buy from Boots or from Tesco's or Argos. What were you looking for to make sure that the stock that you buy would definitely sell?
Okay, electronics I stay away from, for starters. I'm not interested in mobile phone, TV, anything with an engine like that. Anything like that I stay away from. The closest, and this was a good earner that I've sold that had a kind of electric system inside, was a hedge cutter / mower, which I got from Argos. They had it on sale for £75. They only had them in Wembley. I drove down to Wembley from South London. Managed to get the last 3-4 that they had. You want to hear how much I sold them for?
100%, man. How much was it?
Well, twice that amount, literally, and then a bit more. Wow. Because they had it at half price. So I paid $150 for them. They were $300, and I was selling for $349.
Whoa! So how much was the profit on those?
Oh, huge, huge.
Yeah.
And you will find little one-off nuggets like this. And
Mhm.
this is where it balances out the other product that you're only making a pound on. You're thinking, oh, I'm not making a pound on. Don't despair. Smile. You're making money. It's
Mm.
all good. Yeah. Today, I've had products that I've made a pound on today, and next week I'm making £5, £7 on per unit. And that's the way the business works.
Love it, man. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people I speak to are worried that arbitrage doesn't work anymore. They're like, "Oh, Amazon doesn't like it, or it doesn't really work." What would you have to say to those guys who are doubtful?
Uh, with all due respect to those guys, that's total rubbish. It still works. It works very well. Amazon is not interested in whether you arbitrage or not. They're interested in, from my experience, the high quality and where you manage your business with them and the customers especially. Okay, I have had Amazon block me from selling stuff today. I go back in 3 months' time and it's okay to sell.
Mm.
you
Like
know,
restricted products, it changes, right?
exactly,
Sell stuff you can't sell. Yeah, it
exactly.
changes. It's just as long as you can send in stock that's quality, doesn't look like
Yes,
it's been beaten up, or as long as the customer gets the thing and they're happy, Amazon does not care.
exactly, exactly. And most of the thing that the customer get and they use or not happy with, they send it back and it comes back to you. Chances are you pack it back nicely, you take it back to the store where you bought it from, they'll refund it, just keep smiling, they'll refund it. You go back next day and buy a brand new one of the same thing, send it back in. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does work. And I think you have to have the right mindset. I can't emphasize how important and essential this is. You
Mm.
have to have the right mindset. Don't tell yourself it won't work. Because if you tell yourself it won't work, guess what's going to happen? It won't work.
Yeah, you're going to be right. Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you can't, you're going to be right.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So arbitrage for you folks out there looking to try it, it still works. Whether you want to go in as a merchant fulfilled to give it a little sample or go full in like myself and just do the FBA, let Amazon deal with it all, it's entirely up to you. Yes, it still works.
Love it, man. So obviously you've had some of my programs. What would you say is the feature you've liked the most from the coaching that's helped propel you forward?
Oh, it's got to be the mindset, Ali. And I say that because I'm a super procrastinator. I've always been. Actually, let me rephrase. I am not a procrastinator. I have a habit of procrastinating.
Hmm.
And for years, I told myself that I was a...
Right?
Oh,
You don't want to identify as a procrastinator as if it's a static thing. It's like identifying as a smoker. Are
exactly.
you a smoker or are you a person who smokes currently?
Exactly. And for years, I've told myself, oh, I'm a procrastinator. I'm a procrastinator. Well, guess what? Myself, hey, that's what he says, so I'm going to believe him.
Hmm.
Right? And then I started to read about it and to invest, look inward and realize that, no, I'm not a procrastinator. I've got a habit of procrastinating. And like any other habit out there, you can develop a new one. You can change. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I've done. So one of the gold for me in your material, Ollie, is the mindset training, which I think a lot of people overlook, and the recommended reading. Yeah, I think it's essential because once you start telling yourself how great you are and the fact that, push against those barriers that prevent you from achieving what you really want to achieve, your vision, your goal, your dream, push against them until they just break and topple over and let you through to success. Then you will always be a procrastinator or, oh, I can't do it. Oh, it looks too hard. Yeah. And I'm telling you, for someone that's always said it to myself, but obviously don't say it anymore. That's the old me. The new me is completely one in control. But the mindset training is a must. That's my favorite bit of what you do, what you teach, the training material.
That's awesome. My plan is to upload. I've got a new YouTube series of videos actually coming up that focus on mindset. So
Well, one other thing I love, and I ignored it last year, I think, as well to my peril, the smash hit radar.
Mm.
Right.
Right.
I now memorize. I've literally walked around my flat. I think people walking past my house think that guy's crazy. He's walking around talking to himself. I literally memorize that stuff now because it is so important. It is so important, so spot on.
Mm. Love it, man. Cool. All right. Well, look, let's say we're sitting in a room with somebody who was thinking about starting to sell on Amazon, maybe thinking about starting to do arbitrage, maybe thinking as you are now, moving on to private labels, and they weren't sure. They were on the fence. They were like, does this really work? Is it too saturated? What would you say to them?
So I would say, don't worry about the perception that it is too saturated. Don't worry about that at all. Yes, since the coronavirus especially, there's a lot of new sellers I've seen come on board, but I've also seen a lot of new sellers leave Amazon. Yeah, and you can tell, obviously, because when you're on Amazon, you have access to the seller community on Amazon, the forum, so you can read, what people are saying and the struggles and obstacles and so forth. I would say still go ahead, get the experience in. Don't think, don't try, just do. That's what I would say. I think that kind of sums it up for me. Don't think, don't try, just do.
Love it. That's why one of the first action steps I give people whenever I work with them is within the first 2 weeks to 30 days, we want you to make your first sale. Like if it's arbitrage, first 2 weeks, make your first sale. If it's private labels, first 30 days. Because then it gets you in the habit of just doing rather than sitting there going, is this going to work? I need to study. I need to watch videos. Just send something in. When you see that cash appear in your bank, even if it's just £15, like it's a game. Like, do you remember the first sale you had, Garey? Do you remember how it felt?
Ollie, the first sale I have, I think my neighbours think I just won the lottery. and you know the joke about it, it was only, I think, $9.99 or $11.99. It's no biggie. It was actually quite small. But it was my sale. It was my first sale. I'd done it. And this was after 3-4 months, no sale. Yeah. And whenever I open the Amazon app on my phone and it says, today's sale zero, today's sale zero, right? I would always, it got to, at first I didn't, but eventually, before I got the first sale, I would close my eyes and imagine 10 sales. I've just opened my app, sales so far today, 10. I would just imagine 10.
Wow.
That's what I would do.
Love it.
And I kept doing it. I kept doing it. I kept smiling, right? And I kept going through my day with the same thing. Right, I got 10 sales today. Randomly, I'll be in Tesco's or Sainsbury's and I pull out my phone, look at my app, and it says zero. But I look at it and said, 10 sales today, great. And put it back in my pocket. But it just said zero. There was no sales. Yeah. So sorry.
You were visualizing it. You were visualizing.
Absolutely. So when I got my first sale, and there's only one, and I probably only made £2, £3 on it, if I remember. I was like, yes, get in there. This is it. This is the start. And that's exactly what it was. It was the start. From then on, the sales started to go in. It's almost like, and every time I reflect on this, this is the only sensible explanation I can tell myself. It's almost like Amazon just wait to see, okay, is this guy one of us? Is he there to help maintain the high level that we offer to our customers and do the right thing, so forth. Is he one of us? Let's test him. Has he got the perseverance? He's going to do the right thing. Before they actually say, okay, let's drip feed him some sales. And to be honest with you, since then, the sales have been constant.
Love it, man.
Constant. When I have a bad day and I check the forum, everybody else is having a bad day. So it's just a globally or nationally bad day.
There's slow days, man. I've had the point where there's one point where I had 15,000 active listings on my account.
Wow.
I still had days where there was like barely any sales, and you're like pulling your hair out going, what is going on? But it just, unfortunately, customers decide when they buy our stuff. Like, we don't decide. It'd be great if we could decide to be like, yeah, I want to make a sale now, thank you.
Yeah, right. That's all right like that.
That's not how it works, right? So, yeah, man. But look, this has been amazing, Garey. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Keep moving forward. I can't wait to see how you take this same energy and move it into private labels and importing from China. And yeah, great chat, man. Thanks so much for chatting today.
No, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me, Ollie. It's been a pleasure.